Hey parents and guardians, this is Renee Joelle, your parenting coach, coming to you again with another video. Today's video is about emotional neglect and its effects on your child. So if you have not subscribed to my channel as yet, please take some time and do that. Show your support. If you have not liked this video yet, go ahead and do that as well. So we're going to jump right into this topic. If you have watched my previous video speaking about this topic, I touched many different points showing how you can identify the issue of emotional neglect in your own household. I also brought up examples of different kind of personality traits that parents and guardians may have that would cause them to possibly begin to emotionally neglect their child. I also spoke about in my previous video where I addressed this topic, and I spoke about how children many times develop many different insecurities when it comes to being emotionally neglected. There are so many other different forms of abuse and mistreatment that children go through, but in my research, I have found that neglect is a form of abuse. And me, myself, I am intimate with this subject as well because I had endured emotional neglect when I was growing up as a youth. And I remember how it affected me, how it formed insecurities in me, how it made me start to feel as if I wasn't good enough to be loved, or what's wrong with me, or started to search for ways I can make my parent love me more, or want to spend time with me, or want to talk to me. So my experience was my mother had went through many years of depression. She started to shut me out and my other siblings as well. And I can only speak for me, how it made me feel, right? It made me feel like I wasn't worthy to be loved. It made me feel as if, what's wrong with me? What have I done wrong? How can I make you like me? I started wanting to be a people pleaser. The insecurity also came from not receiving that support that I needed from my mother because she was going through her sicknesses in her body. She was going through her mental issues with her depression, and it was something I didn't understand, right? I'm a teenager, I don't understand these things. But I progressively saw her grow worse and worse and worse, and she didn't even realize how she was treating us. I don't even think she realized how she was shutting us out. So I wanted to be transparent and share this experience with you so that you can see I'm intimate with this topic. I'm not just speaking about things I researched or that I see, but I have actually went through this. So I know the damage that it can cause when you are a parent that's doing this or a guardian that's doing this. I also know the damage that it can cause a child because I went through it. Progressively, I saw my mother get worse and worse in her sickness. And maybe even without knowing it, she began to push her family further and further away from her. And I remember just wanting to be loved just by her, just wanting her attention, just wanting her to care. Sometimes I do remember her opening up and speaking to me. Sometimes I do remember times where I went to her and she was there for me, but it was not often. So a lot of times I started to turn to my friends. A lot of times I started to go to them for counsel, which, you know, a teenager does not need to do that, right? Many times your friends are going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you things that you should do that are not wise, right? And so thank God I had God, you know. I would cry out to him, I would pray to him, and he really did help me in so many different situations. Anytime I asked him for help, you know, and God was the one that showed me that my mother was depressed because I didn't know what was going on with her, why she was acting the way that she did. I mean, she would just go in her room, shut the door for days on end. She would only come out to maybe eat. She wouldn't really come out to talk to anyone. And so I'm like, what is wrong? And this would happen year after year after year, and she just progressively had gotten worse and worse and worse. Yes, she was very sick as well, but I can't say she was bedridden, right? That she always had to be in her room, always had to be in her bed. But I would see, even when I would speak to her, that she was emotionally unavailable. I'm a child and I can tell that she just was not present, right? And that was not my mother. That's why it's so important, parents, to make sure that when you're having issues that you're going through, that you're dealing with it. Yeah, you're going to the doctor, or you're going to your pastor, or you're going to whoever you need to go to. You're going to a coach, whoever you need to go to get the help that you need, right? Because unfortunately, when we go through things as parents and guardians, we're not the only ones going through pain and hurt and suffering. We're taking our family through with us. I want you to try to speak to your children more often throughout the day or on a weekly basis if you can't do it every day for whatever the reason is, right? Begin to take small steps, and those small steps begin to create more communication between you and your children, more positive communication between you and your children. That is the tip I want to leave with you today. And positive communication is something you may not be used to because you may be someone that is going through such a hard time in your life, or you just have found yourself being so frustrated and overwhelmed with all that you're responsible for that you've become bitter or you've become burned out, right? And your responses, the way you carry yourself, the way you've just become is just really harsh, quick tempered, and that's how you speak to your children. And really, honestly, when you have someone that you're dealing with that is that way, you really don't want to open up to them. You really don't want to be around them. So, parents, I've talked to you many times about being approachable. And that's something that you need to work on. If you see that you are emotionally neglecting your child, you don't want to just continue being that way because you are teaching your child while you are doing this. You're teaching them how they should respond to other people, how they should go through their issues and problems. You're showing them, hey, when you go through issues, you should shut everyone out, not talk to anyone, you should lock yourself in the room, or whatever it is that you're showing them. Or you can show them a positive example. You can be that positive example to your children where they see you going through something hard. Maybe you're sick in your body, which I've been. I went through many years of sickness in my body, serious sicknesses. And also times where I did not feel good about myself, right? But I still had to make sure to see about my family, take care of them. And I don't mean just put bread on the table, a roof over their head, clothes on their back. I'm talking about that emotional support, showing that care and concern on a daily basis, checking on my kids, right? Seeing how they're doing, talking with them. And parents, we have to understand something. We go through a lot of different things, right? We go through many different challenges. We go through many different issues in our life, right? But our children are going through many different issues and problems and circumstances as well, right? They are faced with many different challenges on a daily basis. And so when they come home from school or wherever, maybe they are a child of a blended family and they come home from their other parent's home, and maybe that other parent is not supportive, they don't really take time with them to spend with them, to talk to them, then they come home to you and they want to be able to share with you how they're doing, what they're going through, what they're experiencing in their mind, in their body, in their life, whatever it is. And we have to be ready and available to be able to be there for them. Again, everyone is not in this place right now. I understand sometimes you may just be going through a really rough time in your life. You feel as if you cannot provide your child with the kind of support that they need. But that's why it's so important that you get the support that you need while you're going through this difficult time in your life, while you are facing challenges in your life, so that you can show up for your child. So your child or your children don't have to feel alone, don't have to feel neglected. I know we love our children, parents, but we have to go beyond just saying that we love them, and we have to show forth action. Love is an action word, right? So we have to get beyond ourselves, and we have to be able to say, you know what, I need help with this or with that, right? And so this is why I provide the services that I do to you parents and guardians, whether you're a mother or a father. That's why I offer you one-on-one coaching sessions with me. That's why you should take advantage of my group coaching sessions and even my virtual classes, my workshops. And if you are a parent or a guardian that works in a school, or you're a director over a community organization and you see that the parents that you work with need this kind of support, need this kind of help, I have spoken to parent liaisons that have asked me to come and speak at their schools. I have worked with directors over organizations in their community that say, I need your help. I need you to assist my parents that I serve. And I conduct my workshops to help provide that support for the parents that are in need of the techniques, the methods that will help them strengthen their families and teach them how to effectively combat the issues that they're dealing with within their parenting journey. So parents and guardians, that's all I have for you today. If you're interested in any of the services that I mentioned within this video, go ahead and DM me. My information is going to be in the description box below. I look forward to meeting with you and training you in one of my in-person workshops or my virtual classes or even my group sessions. And as always, you know it's going to be some work to get our families where we need them to be, happy, whole, and healthy. But I'm here with you on the journey, and I'm ready to work with you because you and your family are worth it.